Hi students, welcome to the classes of the paper titled Wireless and Ad hoc Networks. The textbooks which are recommended for this paper are 1. Principles of Wireless Networks by K. Pahlavan and Prashant Krishnamurthy, published by Prentice Hall of India. 2. Mobile Cellular Communication by G. Sasibhushan Rao, published by Pearson Education. These are the two books which are recommended to study. Now let us start our class. Everybody knows the very famous word today is mobile phone or cell phone or cellular telephone. Here the question is, what is a mobile phone? A mobile phone is a portable telephone that does not use a wired connection. Since mobile phone is very popular today, now let us see the number of users of mobile phone all over the world. That is the statistics of mobile phone users. In 1984, there were only 25,000 users. In 1994, it was raised to 16 million. In 1997, it was raised to 50 million. In 2005, it was reached to 3 billion. In 2020, so can we guess the number? Definitely it would be a very big number. From these, what we observe is the users of mobile phone are increased dramatically. Now there is a second question. Is our mobile phone technology extends access to all? The answer is yes, because of its services. In addition to standard voice function, current mobile phone also supports latest services such as short message service, SMS, general packet radio service, GPRS, and multimedia service, MMS, for sending and receiving photos and videos, email, and for packet switching, and for wireless access protocol, WAP, and Bluetooth. Now let us see how these are working. Here the principle is the mobile phone connect to the cellular phone networks which are further connected to the public switched telephone network, PSTN. The cellular network provides wireless connection between mobile phones and between a mobile phone and a landline phone using radio waves. Now we see the figure on the screen. The figure shows early mobile radio system and present cellular system. The cellular network uses a number of low power transmitters called base stations, BS, and each base station covers a unit area called a cell. The cellular network concept is against the use of a single high power transmitter with antenna mounted on a tall tower, as is the case in the early mobile radios, to cover a larger area. The difficulty in early mobile radio systems was the reuse of same frequencies throughout the system, resulting in significant interference and a lot of bandwidth being dedicated to a single call. Now let us see the generations of wireless mobile systems. Wireless communication is basically transmitting and receiving voice and data using electromagnetic waves in open space. The evolution of cellular communication systems is commonly known by 1G, 2G, 3G and 4G systems. Let's see the 1G, first generation. 1G mobile phone system was introduced in 1980 in US. Analog circuit switch technology is used for the system with FDMA as an air channel multiple access technique. It worked mainly in the 800 to 900 MHz frequency bands. It had only voice facility. And the examples of 1G systems are analog mobile phone systems, AMPS, and total access communication systems, TACS. In AMPS, 225 MHz bands are allocated. 125 MHz band is for BS to mobile, base station to mobile, and another is for mobile to base station. Then what are the limitations of 1G? It supports only speech. It had low traffic capacity. It had unreliable handover. It took long call setup time and frequent call drops. It had inefficient use of bandwidth. It had poor voice quality and large phone size. And it allows users to make voice calls in one country only. These are the limitations of 1G. Now we look for the second generation 2G. The need for more user capacity per cell led to the development of 2G. These are digital cellular systems. It supports data, speech, fax, SMS, and web services. The frequency bands used by global system for mobile GSM are 890 to 960 MHz and 1710 to 1880 MHz. 2G digital technology is divided into two standards: time division multiple access TDMA and code division multiple access CDMA. Then what are the limitations of 2G? The limitations includes it provides low data rates ranging from 9.6 kbps to 28.8 kbps. It used circuit switching network where the end systems are dedicated for the entire call session. This causes reduction in usage of bandwidth and resources. And the last is too many 2G standards globally exists. Example: GSM, CDMA, PDC, and PHS. These are the limitations of 2G. Now we move to interim generation 2.5G. The need for increased throughput data rates in data transfer led to the evolution of 2.5G. It has started with added GPRS and enhanced data rates for GSM evolution. It is called EDGE. It supports wireless access protocol, WAP, led to mobile commerce. Usually we call it as a M-commerce. Now we look for the third generation 3G. The aim of 3G is to provide communication services from person to person at any place and at any time through any medium with guaranteed quality of service. The need for high-speed internet access, live video communications, and simultaneous data and voice transmission led to the development of 3G. Added multimedia facilities to 2.5G is 3G. It operates in frequency bands 1710 to 2170 MHz. It provides high transmission rates from 348 kbps in a moving vehicle to 2 Mbps for a stationary or mobile users. Examples are Universal Mobile Telecommunication System, UMTS, and International Mobile Telecommunications, IMT. Then what are its limitations or drawbacks? The limitations includes its high bandwidth requirement. Second, its high spectrum licensing fees. Third, these are expensive and bulk size of 3G phones. Fourth, it has a lack of network coverage because it is still a new service. And fifth, its high prices of 3G mobile services. These are the limitations of 3G. Now we look for the fourth generation 4G. Even though the 3G networks offers the true broadband access will be achieved with 4G mobile phones. Its transmission rates up to 20 Mbps higher than that of 3G. It provides smooth global roaming universally with lower cost. It brings almost the perfect real-world wireless networking called Worldwide Wireless Web, WWW. It allows video conferencing, streaming picture perfect video, etc. It uses various variable spread factor, code division multiple axis. These are the factors regarding 4G. Now we look at the screen. It shows sample mobile phones for 3 generations. From this we can observe that when the technology is improved along with time, the size of the mobile phone is reduced. Now we look at the screen. It is a table which compares the features of 1G, 2G, 3G and 4G technologies in terms of year of implementation, service, multiple access, standards, bandwidth and core network. We can easily understand the development of technologies by comparing the details column by column. That's all for this session. Let us stop and we can continue the other topics in the next session. Thank you.